If you are looking to invest in the FTSE 100 or the FTSE 250, then you do not want to miss this video. Hello, I'm CRAIGO. Welcome back to my channel. I'm the founder of the Finance Cheetah. Recently, I launched a video comparing the FTSE 100 with the S&P 500 stock exchange, and for my channel, it went down fairly well. So I thought I would then make another version of this video, this time comparing the FTSE 100 with the FTSE 250. We are going to look at all things related to the FTSE 100 and 250. So first of all, we'll start with the composition of each stock exchange. We will then look at the past performance of the stock exchange and then drill more deeply down into the impact of coronavirus on each stock exchange. And last but not least, we will look at the future outlook of both stock exchanges, and I will give some professional opinions as well as my own verdict on each stock exchange. So if you are looking to invest in either and you are interested, you may be a UK citizen, then you will want to watch this video. I can assure you, you will want to watch this video. All right. Anyway, before we go ahead, I have a trading 212 link down in my description. That will give you a free share once you've deposited £1 of up to 100 quid. And for full transparency, I will get one too. So please use my affiliate link, sign up below, and let's get rich together. Because who turns down free money? Free money. No one. No one should ever turn down free money. Remember, it will cost you absolutely nothing to do either of those two things. Mind you, the pound for trading 212, but essentially you'll get more money back. So it's potentially free. So please do it and help me grow this channel. But anyway, now let's get stuck in with the composition of the FTSE 100 and the FTSE 250. Let's go. The composition of the FTSEs are different. The FTSE 250 is essentially a sister stock exchange to the FTSE 100. The FTSE 100 has the UK's 100 largest companies by market capitalisation, whereas the FTSE 250 will have the 101st to the top 350th top companies by market capitalisation. For those of you new to my channel and maybe a beginner to invest in, market capitalisation is the share price times by the number of shares in issue, and what they will do is add up the total market cap for each company in that stock exchange. So the market cap of the FTSE 100 will be the total market cap of all 100 companies added together. The FTSE 250 will be the market cap of all 250s on the stock exchange added together. Now what you would probably expect, if you are a beginner, is that the FTSE 250 market cap will be far greater than the FTSE 100 because of the amount of companies. I don't know the exact answer, but I would suspect you are wrong. The reason being, the FTSE 100 is, of course, the largest 100 companies, and some of those top companies in that stock exchange are far larger than multiple of the FTSE 250 companies. So if you look on screen now, you will see a makeup of the top 10 companies listed on both stock exchanges. And what you will see is that on the FTSE 100, you will see companies such as the Unilever Group, AstraZeneca, Royal Dutch Shell, BHP, HSBC, GlaxoSmithKline, Diageo, Rio Tinto, British American Tobacco and BP. You're looking at companies there from industries such as healthcare, medicine, alcohol, smoking, cigarettes, tobacco, fuel, oil companies. And that is predominantly the makeup of the FTSE 100. If you go back to the video I did previously on the S&P 500 versus FTSE 100, you would know that the S&P 500 is predominantly made up of large tech firms, and that's something that's actually missing within the FTSE 100 and the FTSE 250, which is why we've seen some drag on the stock exchanges during coronavirus, but I will touch on that later. If we then look at the FTSE 250, we will see companies such as the Pershing Square Holdings, the Weir Group, the Unite Group, F&C Investment Trust, Direct Line Insurance Company, ITV, EasyJet and Wizz Air. Now, you probably haven't heard of many of those. I've probably only heard of about 5 of them, but what you have got in there, you've got a couple of airlines, a TV company, and you've also got some student housing, a real estate company, some insurance companies, but yeah, they're just by far smaller companies, and because of that, they've got a kind of a significant lower market cap. But if you are looking for an investment that is likely to perform more stable, then the FTSE 100 will be the one for you, because the companies are larger and far less volatile versus the company's share price movements in the FTSE 250. Let's talk about the establishment of both stock exchanges. So the FTSE 100 was established in 1984, whereas the FTSE 250 was only established in 1992, meaning that the younger sister stock exchange is 8 years younger. If you look at the performance since the inception of both stock exchanges, you will see that the FTSE 100 has grown by 579%, but the FTSE 250 has only grown by 440%. So I know what you're suddenly thinking, well, that makes the FTSE 100 the best stock market to invest in. No, it's not as clear and obvious as that. And let me explain why. If you look at the movement in the stock exchanges from the date of the FTSE 250 inception, to give yourself a like-for-like comparison, you will see that the FTSE 100 has only grown by 179%. Which means had you invested your money in FTSE 250 over FTSE 100 when the FTSE 250 was born, then you will be worth approximately 2.5 times more than if you had invested it in the FTSE 100. It is worth noting that, as I touched on earlier, the volatility in the stock market is drastically more on the FTSE 250 because the share price and the performance of these companies are susceptible to bigger movements and higher levels of volatility over the counterparts on the FTSE 100. At birth, the FTSE 100 was trading for just under £1,100 and is now valued at around £6,500. The FTSE 250 was valued at just under £5,000 at birth and is now worth upwards of £20,500. So you can see the significant difference in value to stock exchanges. I touched on earlier though that you would expect the market cap to be higher in the FTSE 250, and I said don't be so sure because the bigger companies in the FTSE 100 are far greater than the size of the FTSE 250. So in actual fact, the market cap on the FTSE 100 is £1.63 trillion, and the market cap on the FTSE 250 is only £179 billion. So that means that the FTSE 100 in terms of market cap is over 10 times bigger than the FTSE 250. Now you might be thinking about how the companies divided up between the FTSE 100 and the FTSE 250. Well, it is fairly straightforward. There is a quarterly review at the London Stock Exchange, and what they will do is assess the market cap of each company and rank these in order. If a company in the FTSE 100 ranks 111th or below, then they will automatically be moved down into the FTSE 250. Likewise, if a company in the FTSE 250 is ranked in the top 90 companies, then that company will be moved up into the biggest stock market, into the FTSE 100. Because of the nature of the stock markets and market capitalization constantly changing, it is required consistently to ensure that the top 100 companies represent the top FTSE 100 stock exchange. Now we've touched on the market composition, let's look at the COVID impact. Now the FTSE 100 and the FTSE 250 actually suffered kind of the same levels of coronavirus impact, and on screen now you will see the two stock graphs from the last year, and you'll see they look very similar in shape and trend. You will see in March that both stock exchanges drastically reduced by 40% and have slowly recovered over the course of the year. You will also see that the FTSE 250 has in actual fact recovered slightly more than the FTSE 100. However, do not let this alarm you when investing in either of those stock exchanges. The coronavirus lockdown, which has been put into place by Boris Johnson and the government, has essentially caused this. Many businesses have closed down, and actually the businesses that have boomed over the coronavirus pandemic are the technology companies. And unfortunately, as I touched on earlier in this video, the FTSE doesn't have very many global technology companies. However, I feel there is good news at the end of the tunnel because we are coming out of coronavirus. The vaccine has been announced, and I would expect these stock markets to fully recover. However, I'll touch on that further in this video. I began investing in April, and I have seen significant growth on my investment over the last couple of months due to the good news around the COVID vaccine and certainty around businesses being able to operate again as usual, hopefully within the short rather than the medium term. However, I still see the shares are valued at 20% lower than all-time highs, so I still think you can get a bargain purchase. I have got some reliable sources in the Motley Fool, Wealthify, and This Is Money, and the general consensus is that it is time to invest in the FTSE 100 and future outlook will be strong. So let's look on screen. The Motley Fool echoed what I said earlier, where the FTSE 100 index is being weighed down by underperformers, and highlights HSBC and BT Group as an example of these companies. They also state that the FTSE 100 has underperformed other major stock markets such as the S&P 500, and this touches on the lack of technology firms within the FTSE 100, which I mentioned earlier. He does, however, state though that there are companies performing very well such as Unilever and Reckitt Benckiser. The Wealthify says, with Brexit looming, is the UK stock market a good place to invest? He believes the stock price is priced low. However, Brexit is providing uncertainty for investors. They compare the potential impact of Brexit to the global financial crisis. However, believes that the FTSE 100 in the long term is a great place to diversify your investment plan. And then we look at This Is Money, and This Is Money quotes Goldman Sachs predicting the FTSE will rise by 140% by the end of next year as the economies rebuild from COVID. Now, if there is anyone that you would believe, then I would probably believe in Goldman Sachs. But now, let's look at my opinion. So my opinion is, I believe the FTSE 100 is a great stock market to invest in. The FTSE 100 has performed well over the last couple of months due to the announcements over the vaccines and the successful trials in the coronavirus vaccines. And actually that has driven the short-term incline. However, I still have the furlough scheme in the back of my mind. At the end of March, the furlough scheme will be taken away. As it stands, it could be extended, who knows. But eventually it will be taken away and businesses will have to learn to cope on their own. And what we could see then is a shakeout of companies from the stock exchanges and short-term lows. So I think in the short term, it may be a volatile investment. However, longer term, if you can take advantage by weighted cost investing into the FTSE by taking advantage of those lows, then longer term, your portfolio will build as always, as we have seen with the 2008 recession, and you will make a considerable, nice amount of money on anything that you invest. So for me, I see the FTSE as a great investment and one that I will be continuing. As a UK national, where else would I want to invest my money in than in the stock exchange of my own capital? Nowhere. So I hope you enjoyed that video, found it useful and entertaining. Can I please remind that if you did absolutely love that video, then you destroy that like button, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. I will be producing more videos like these, as actually I really enjoyed putting them together. So if you are looking for the next one, then I will have one shortly with you soon. But that is all from me today. I will see you in the next video. Over and out. Goodbye.